This is a short sequence for your psoas. For this practice, have a block and a blanket available. Go ahead and begin in downward facing dog and plant your hands, tuck your toes, and lift your hips. So the psoas is a really interesting muscle, that it's actually associated with a lightness in energy when we release it and let it go. That oftentimes if the psoas is tight, we feel a little tight internally. So this is just a really great muscle to tap into any time of day. On the inhale, lift your right leg up and back. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward and lower your left knee down toward the mat. And as you lower your left knee down, notice that her left knee is pretty far behind her left hip, and we want to keep that. If your knee is sensitive at all, you can add a blanket underneath there for support. On the inhale, interlace your hands on top of your right knee and press your arms towards straight. As you press your arms towards straight, for a moment, you're going to back off, pull the hips back a little bit, drop the tailbone down toward the floor, and lift the belly. You see all that space she made. And so this is key to getting into the psoas. We want to keep the tailbone heavy. We want to keep the low belly pulling back, so you're not lunging as far forward in this shape. On an inhale, take both arms to the sky, and then see if you can keep all of that work. Low belly pulling back, lifting up through all four corners of the waist. Keep your tail heavy, take a full inhale here. And as you exhale, start to release your right arm down by your right side. And as your right arm releases, your right hand might need a block for support. As your left arm comes up and over your head, deep into your left psoas. So this muscle that attaches back behind your lower vertebrae and wraps across the top of your hip. And so what you might find over a few breaths is that you don't need a block that is as high. You can lower the block down a little bit, or you could even move the block off to the side. Just kind of depending on how your body feels today, you find a height that works for you as you breathe. And the key to maintaining this connection is the length of the tail, the lifting of the low belly as you stretch to the side. Really nice. On the inhale, coming back through the center, left arm and right arm sweep toward the sky. As you exhale, plant both hands to the mat. Tuck the back left toes and step to upper push-up, step to plank. Take a goodbye inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly lower, elbows graze the waist. And come into up dog. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, just giving the tops of the hips a really sweet stretch. Exhale, tuck the toes and firm your way back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, keep the tail tilting toward the sky. Keep the lift of the low belly. On an inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, left foot steps lightly forward to the top of the mat. Right knee lowers down behind the right hip. Inhale, interlace the hands on top of the left knee and press the arms towards straight. Give yourself a moment there, supporting your back knee if you need. And then peel the hips back, drop the tailbone down, and lift the low belly in. We make all of this beautiful space. Inhale, both arms to the sky, lifting up through the corners of the waist. And then as you exhale, the left arm starts to release down by the left side, and we'll grab the block and move it over to the second side. As the right arm comes up and over the head, continuing to keep the tailbone lengthening toward the mat, continuing to zipper up through the belly, as if you could take your two frontal hip points and hike them towards your face. So the place where you feel the stretch is all the way down this right channel of the inner edge of that right leg, across the top of the right hip. A lot of that same stretch you feel in Warrior One as you press the back leg back. As you're ready, take an inhale, reach the right arm a little bit further, pause through the exhale, back through the center on an inhale, left arm sweeps up to meet the right. Exhale, both hands come down toward the mat, tuck the back right toes, and step back to plank. Take an inhale, upper push up to set. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower slowly toward the mat. Inhale to upward facing dog, lift the heart, lift the chest. As you exhale, roll over the toes, press your way back, downward facing dog. Take a moment in down dog, heels heavy, legs firm as the thighs lift. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, slowly lower the knees down toward the mat. Crawl the knees forward, and as you crawl the knees forward, cross the ankles and roll onto your back. As you roll onto your back, plant the feet about the distance of your hips, And slide your heels in a little closer towards your sitting bones. And as your heels slide in, making sure that your toes point ahead, you're going to take your block and on an inhale, lift your hips and slide your block underneath your sacrum, underneath your low back for supported bridge. And so the block can be at any height here, but we do want it to be the wide way supporting the SI joint. So if she wants to go higher, she can reach underneath. We can spin the block up to one higher height, making sure that she has the space she needs. And as the tail rests, as if the sacrum were a paperweight, let it get heavy down onto the block. Then keep what you have and hug the right knee into your chest. And as you hug the right knee in, you can squeeze it with both hands, just drawing it in gently, feeling that your tailbone is steadily supported by the block as you rest. And then on the inhale, straighten the left leg and reach the left leg forward. Let the left heel get heavy and let the left toes flex back toward the face. As you draw energy out through your left heel, hug the right knee back and in, and again, we get into the left psoas. And so just see if you can send this really special and ultimately deep abdominal muscle a lot of breath and a lot of compassion. That this is a tough muscle to feel into, but we often see it manifest in the body with a tight jaw. So if you notice that you start to clench your jaw, see if your face can stay soft. See if your eyes can maybe close. And give yourself a little bit of gentle, smooth releases on your exhales, even sighing the breath out if you feel like that's what you need today. On your next inhale, bend your left knee, plant your left foot flat to the mat. Lower your right knee down toward the floor, arms by the sides. Give yourself a moment to reset. And then reach down and hug the left knee into the chest. As the left knee draws in, give yourself a moment here, resisting the urge to jump ahead, giving the body a moment to acclimate. And then reaching the right leg forward. And as the right leg reaches forward, the toes draw back toward the face, giving yourself a few deep breaths across the top of your right thigh. And so just sensing that passivity here is a very active choice. That there's a lot of intention behind the stillness that you're cultivating inside of the shapes. That you're not just hanging out, it's not something lazy, it's a choice you're making to embody the body, to be present to the sensation that might or might not be taking place. Take one more deep inhale. Slide the right foot back as you exhale, ground the right foot to the floor, lower the left foot to meet the right, arms down by the sides, and take some time in supported bridge, as much time as you have here today. This is a short sequence for your psoas. Hope you enjoyed. Namaste.